Before there were heroes and villains, there was something humankind was never meant to find. And everything we call power started with that discovery. Primes. Some call them miracles, the next step in human evolution. Others call them abominations and monsters. In reality, they're enhanced human beings born with an incredibly rare DNA sequence known as the prime marker. Those with the prime marker make up approximately 0.03% of the Earth's total population. Almost all of them are dormant, normal human beings. A prime can go their entire life without realizing that they're different. In the off chance that a prime's powers do end up manifesting, they don't develop randomly. They're based off an existing combination of physiology, psychology, and primonium exposure levels. But the prime marker isn't activated until a prime comes into contact with primonium, an otherworldly element discovered in Antarctica by Atlas Corp over 2 decades ago. No one knows where it came from, how it works, or why it's here. But one thing is for certain. Everything changed forever once mankind dug it out of the ice. The lab coats at Atlas Corp call primonium element 119, the Genesis. It behaves unlike anything on Earth. It absorbs energy, transforms it, emits a radiation no one's ever seen before. It's incredibly unstable, and those who don't possess the prime marker report experiencing effects of radiation poisoning, and even death in rare cases. It exists naturally in multiple forms: crystal, gas, liquid. But its danger is constant. Avoid contact with primonium at all costs. A billion-dollar expedition led by Dr. Klaus Rasmussen, one of the founding members of Atlas Corp and the current leader of Epoch, resulted in primonium's discovery. Dr. Klaus originally intended to use the element for altruistic purposes: medicines to cure uncurable diseases, machines that would aid in everyday tasks, breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, and alternative energy systems. But everything changed once he found out what it could really do, and what it could really create. After an experiment involving the child of another Atlas Corp founder went wrong, primonium was buried. Any evidence of it was scrubbed from the planet. Atlas Corp locked it away in its labs, contained those who knew about it. It ceased to exist outside of them. That is, until the rise of Epoch, the bioterrorist organization hell-bent on bringing about the age of primes. In the fall of 2026, Epoch discovered another primonium deposit in the abandoned quarries of River Hill, a small town in the southeast of North America. Using Archangel Industries as a shell company, Epoch began harvesting the element for their own goals. But when a group of snooping teenagers, some of which possessed the prime marker, stumble across the operation, Dr. Klaus takes matters into his own hands. The age of primes will happen by any means necessary. The 6 teenagers are exposed to the primonium, changing their lives forever. After a gunfight with Atlas Corp, Epoch is forced to abandon their operation and their new test subjects. Atlas Corp cleans up the mess again. Except this time, keeping primonium and primes a secret proves way harder than they anticipated. These 6 young primes eventually became known as the Original 6, the world's first team of superhumans. And their first task? Defeating Dr. Klaus and Epoch. And if they can't stop the age of primes, then the world will be plunged into chaos. As they anticipate more primes to awaken, Atlas Corp has created a system to monitor and classify them. Thus, primes are divided into 6 classes and graded by 4 tiers, 1 being the lowest and 4 being the highest. The first class is the Leviathans. These are primes whose abilities enhance their physical form beyond human limits. Powers like super strength, durability, enhanced physiology, and physical mutations show up here. Next is phasers. Heavily related to Leviathans, these are primes who break conventional movement rules. Super speed, teleportation, flight, these powers earn you this classification. The next class are the emitters. These are primes who generate and project energy externally. Those who can conjure the elements like fire or wind or electricity or release energy blasts fall into this category. Supersonic screams and even acid spit are present here. Next up are the manipulators. These are primes who manipulate existing matter, forces, or fields, distorting light, disrupting magnetic fields, or controlling water. Manipulators are strong, but they're not the strongest. The strongest classes out of the 6 are the next 2. First up is the scions. These are primes who affect perception, awareness, or minds, either their own or others. It's one of the rarer classes. Telepathy or any mental augments are sorted into the scion class. And last but not least, we have the singularities. At this current moment, there are no known singularities, but this class is reserved for those whose powers don't fit into the other 5 categories. Their powers break the rules, sometimes even reality itself. If you happen to run into one, just hope you don't. Being a prime isn't a gift, but it isn't a curse either. It's a responsibility. There are 10 known primes in Atlas Corp's database, and they're just the beginning. Dr. Klaus, the leader of Epoch. He's a tier 4 emitter. His blood creates a toxic poison that can emit from his pores via liquid or gas. Don't let the Kane fool you. He's a formidable foe, and everything started with him. In his head, he's a legend, a god even. But how will history remember the man who tried to throw the world into anarchy? Apex. Apex was the first official prime. Experimented on Klaus as a child, Primonium exposure turned him into a tier 4 phaser and emitter. The combination of his teleportation and destructive energy emitting makes him a borderline singularity. As Klaus's right-hand man, almost nothing stands in his way as he fights to bring about the age of primes. But Epoch aren't the only ones with primes on their side. The original 6 are the only ones standing between them and the destruction of human society. Sentinel, a tier 3 Leviathan, Blur, a tier 2 phaser, Starchild, a tier 4 emitter and phaser, Reverb, a tier 2 emitter and scion, Fuego, a tier 4 emitter and Leviathan, and Titan, a tier 2 Leviathan. They're the world's first superhero team, and if they fall, nothing will stop Dr. Klaus and Epoch. If you want to learn about each member of the original 6 individually, check out the video on screen or join the Eternal Keyverse Patreon, where you can read up on each of their in-depth database files. The looming threat of Epoch and the Age of Primes has the entire world on edge. And with the announcement of Epoch's Project Genesis, world governments will be forced to react to contain the damage. Atlas Corp can't keep this all contained forever. Once the world learns the truth about primes, they'll be feared. Some will praise them as heroes, others will curse them as villains, and the rest will try to control them. But none of this was an accident. Whoever brought Primonium to Earth, they're not done, and soon, the Age of Primes will be upon us. In my superhero trilogy, all of this boils down to one question, and it's not where does power come from, it's whether we were meant to have it in the first place. And primes are just the beginning of the Eternal Keyverse. There are even more secrets hidden on our Earth and in the worlds beyond it. If you want deeper access to the Keyverse, I'm talking full timelines, character profiles, lore cards, and even more. You can find it all on the Eternal Keyverse Patreon. If you want to keep up with the Eternal Keyverse, make sure to like this video, comment what you're looking forward to seeing next, and subscribe so that you don't miss another video. It's time for all of you to become a part of this universe with me. I've been LDJ, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.